You guys all want to do as well as you can, so I'm going to try and give you the things that will help you do that. Some of these are going to seem like things you already know, but if you don't know, or sometimes you just don't think about them and you forget about them, but there might be some things in here you haven't. So number one, go to bed early. Don't stay up till 1 a.m. studying. Okay, your brain is a muscle, right? We're learning that. We need to know that for A&P. You need to let your brain rest. So don't be tempted to stay up late the night before, trying to cram in that one last part that you didn't know as well. Don't do that. Just go to bed early. And then when you wake up in the morning, give yourself time. Don't be rushing out the door. Don't be kind of in a panic and have your, underwear on backwards and 2 different color socks. Like, give yourself time to, properly kind of get prepared for the day. Not everybody likes to exercise. I exercise here and there, but I'm not like a 7 days a week exercising person. But I myself, even from the work that I'm doing with Smart Edition Academy and TEAS Tutor, exercise is huge for your brain, like blood into your brain. That's what you want. You need your brain operating on 100% capacity, and you need a lot of blood in your brain to do that. Just exercising, and like exercising doesn't have to mean you need to go deadlift 300 pounds at the gym. Exercising is do some jumping jacks. Just run in place. Go run down the street a couple blocks. You need like 10 to 20 minutes of exercise, just enough so that you're kind of breathing a little bit heavier. Maybe you break a sweat. You don't have to, but you will be much more alert for the rest of the day. You don't have to do it, but trust me, it's absolutely something that will help you on this one day, this one test day. Get active, do something. Just don't roll out of bed and show up to the test. Create a study plan. Okay, so we give you a study plan in the study guide and in the online course. Give yourself enough time to prepare. There's no right or wrong amount of time, but if you're giving yourself a week, it's probably not enough time. Most people will go with the consensus that 4 to 6 weeks is about what you want to spend. If you have more time than that to prepare, that's even better. You can kind of go at a pace that works better for yourself, but give yourself at least like 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, and make that plan. And so that plan might, be something like study 1.5 to 2 hours a day. And stick to that plan, okay? You don't have to study for 8 hours a day unless you only gave yourself a week. But if you're giving yourself 4 to 6 weeks, use those practice tests and identify your strengths and weaknesses. Focus on those weaknesses. Give them 1.5 to 2 hours a day. Don't cram it all into a day or a week. You won't retain the information as well as if you're doing it kind of over time and kind of keep going back to it. Another thing is don't memorize questions. I see it all the time online. People are like, was this exact question on the test? Was that exact question on the test? Don't memorize the questions, because that's not how to pass the test. You need to understand the material no matter how the question is asked. So if it's a question about DNA or RNA, you need to be able to answer that, whether it's a fill in the blank or multiple choice or some other type of question. You need to know the material. Now, yes, the questions are going to be asked in a certain way on the test, and you would want to be familiar with those, but don't use memorizing exact questions as a crutch. If you're doing practice tests, you need to make sure you have a good number of practice tests. Like, don't practice the same practice test over and over again. Like, we offer a free practice test, and that's only going to go so far. You can take that once or twice, but if you were to take it 5, 6, 7 times, you're just going to memorize those answers, and it's not really going to help you if you're using it that many times. And that's why our online course has 8 practice tests. It's got a few, over 1,000 questions. So you're not really going to see those same questions over and over. You won't be memorizing it. And another thing you can do to understand the material is to be able to teach it to someone else. So yes, you might have to borrow your parents or your brothers and sisters or your significant others, but try and teach them. If you can teach someone else, then that means that you really know the material. So that's something that you can try. I mean, the last thing I have on here is kind of the same as don't memorize questions, but everybody wants to find the resources that have the closest practice tests or what's got the exact thing that was on the test. And again, that's not what you should be trying to do. You should be trying to learn the material, whether it's on the test that in the courses that you're going to take when you get into nursing school or on the TEAS test. You need to know the material first. Don't spend too much time trying to find the exact practice test and the exact questions that are on the test. Definitely, it's worth investing in a good resource. So $30, $35 for a good study guide, the Smart Edition study guide, or even up to like $70 for an online course. These are things that are worth their weight in gold. I mean, the value that you get is totally worth it to get into the program that you really want to get into. So there's lots of good free resources, Khan Academy, lots of good stuff on YouTube. But one of the things is you're not totally sure if you're studying the exact material that's on the test, and you have to spend a lot of time researching and finding and doing a lot of that when you could actually just be studying. So invest in a good resource. Obviously I'm biased, but I highly recommend the Smart Edition Study Guide and the TEAS Tutor online course. Those are just kind of a few things, frequently asked questions. So if you guys have any other questions, please comment below. We will add to this video, maybe do a new one that kind of incorporates some of these other questions. And if you have strategies or tips, things that worked really well for you, again, comment below, and we'll look forward to hearing what you guys have to say. All right, good luck on the test, guys.